And we are live. Welcome to the KD Ratio,
What's
your
up?
place for all things nerd. I'm Billy. This is Dylan. That's Kyle. And we dive into our headline topic today, which is Dylan is so pissed and has something to say.
Yeah. You know what I'm pissed about? AI fucking music. It bugs me, constantly grinds my gears.
You're a little bit of a boomer with this, huh?
Well, here's the thing. And I'm very conflicted on it. It pisses me off, but I also realize that I'm being a boomer, but I'm also conflicted in it because my main thing, I want a choice on my music listening platform. I want either a filter or I need them to clearly state that a band is AI. Currently on Spotify, neither of those exist. And certain, I think Bandcamp, I don't even know. Was it Band? No, not Bandcamp. It's Orange. I don't know.
Like Orange is the New Black?
No, I don't know the logo. But anyways, a music streaming platform. They banned AI music outright.
Okay.
They banned it completely. But
SoundHound or whatever, or SoundFlare,
something like that.
Yeah,
SoundHound.
SoundCloud.
SoundHound is orange, but I don't think it. Isn't
I
that just
know.
like a Shazam thing where you just
is that even still a thing? To be honest, I don't know.
But yeah, so
I know it's orange though. I don't know.
I'm
Where
part
did I
of
pull that?
a forum. Okay, because how
you signed a petition.
I did. I literally, because how Spotify does their feedback is this forum-based website. That's the only way you can submit feedback to Spotify.
So hold on. So that's your solution to this, or that's what you're doing about this. Talk to me about why you hate it.
So the reason I hate it, do you mean my choices, or because what I'm advocating for on here?
Yeah,
is what I'm advocating for on Spotify on the forum is an option to filter out AI music. I want the personal choice to say I don't want it, because it's starting to bleed into my Discover Weekly and Release Radar, and I hate that shit. My Release Radar should only be artists I listen to. Don't put any bullshit. And I understand if there's not enough music, then they recommend others, but I don't want AI in that. And I would say the main thing that upsets me with AI music is when they try to pretend to be real, and they try and sell themselves as a real artist.
When it's disingenuous.
Yeah. So for example, there's one AI artist I'm okay with, and
okay, we already got nuance.
Yeah, and well, exactly. You have to have nuance with this.
That's my next piece that I'm going to layer in here after you describe this. But what is AI music?
Yeah, I've spent.
I know you have, so I want to hear it.
Thinking about it, but so, and this could all be bull honky, but he claims this AI artist.
Okay,
a little bull honky there. Haven't heard that one.
We're getting honked off over here.
He claims that he isn't just a single prompt music. He uses AI, but he also he's taking an active part in editing it and changing the song essentially. So he uses AI to help him. And again, he could be lying out his ass. We don't know. There's no way to tell. But from what I can hear, his songs sound more EDM-ish, which to me that probably I can be more okay with AI EDM, but I have issues when AI is fully replacing guitar, drums, vocals. That's where it bugs me the most. Just because and that's the part that's hard for me. It's yes, it's more music, it's more acts, it's easier for somebody to get lyrics that they might have out into the world, but then I know for every person that is doing that, there's also a bunch of soulless cash grab people that are like, oh, I know what song would kill songs like this. And so I'm conflicted and it pisses me off.
So what is AI music?
So AI music is
it completely generated by a computer that is nothing like one prompt,
A prompt.
and then you upload it.
Generally, it's built off a prompt. Sometimes
Yeah.
they'll upload lyrics and say, "I want it to sound like this."
Here's the
Like, they have a
lyrics.
vision.
Mhm.
Well, I'm trying to get what his definition is because he's already added the nuance, which is he's okay with this guy who has worked with it to say, "Ooh, I want more of that high tap," or "I want, I want that chorus, but twice."
Is it less
or, "I
about
want-"
how it's made and more about how it's advertised and sold?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
It's less
It's-
about. It's more about like whether or not they're like being honest about what they're doing.
Because I've ran across a few. I would say this is probably where my hate generates from. Is I've run my hate. I've ran across a few artists where they claim to be real people, like
Yeah,
and
that pisses me.
and
off
that
too.
pisses me off. And it's like I can tell. I listen to the voice. I know you guys don't really use TikTok. I was on TikTok one time, and there was somebody AI song, and I don't know about you guys. I can hear it in the voice now. For now, until they
Most
fix
AI
it.
videos, the biggest tell for me is the audio.
Yeah.
I key in on the audio.
But that's for
faster.
now. Who knows when that's
Eventually, it'll
eventually
be seamless,
will
but
be seamless.
For now, it's kind of
But
obvious.
straight up in the comments, people were like, "Are you real?" And they're like, "Yes." And it's like, "Shut the fuck up! No, you're not. Like, don't."
Shut the fuck up, you piece of shit.
Thank you, children, for watching.
Yeah.
But to your point, though, also, Kyle, I think that's what I'm trying to define here because I get that they need to maybe tell you when it's whole AI, but does Spotify even know? Because here's the reality. One, I mean, is it just a self-determined flag that they can set? And two, like, how do we even know that the artists that you already engage with and love aren't doing that already for all their stuff or generating ideas and then copying that and just making
Yeah.
it their own? I mean, how do we really know how influenced this market already is? And I would say it's probably already bled into it deep. Like, give me what is
well, like,
average? Here's the top 50 songs this summer right now. Average them out and give me a chorus line and a beat that would perform well. I bet you that's happening with a bunch of producers.
I'm not inherently against AI. In fact, I think between the three of us, I'm the one that dabbles with it the most.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah.
But I do feel that if you're producing something, especially for any kind of monetary value, there should be regulations on like being honest on how you're using it, like as a tool. I mean, I think I saw a clip. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were just on Joe Rogan.
I watched it. It was
They were
awesome.
talking about this. Yeah, Ben Affleck actually, I mean, he's kind of all coked out too, but he's actually making like good points. And he was talking about like how essentially AI has already integrated so thoroughly into movie making, like script writing and all of it. Like he's like, it's a tool that it's here, it's happening. We have to use it, but it's about how we're using it as a creative tool rather than just letting it do our jobs for us. And that's the difference between something with soul and something that does not. So I think there's nothing for me, and this is controversial to say, but for me, I don't think there's nothing inherently wrong with using AI. I
No.
think you just have to be honest and genuine about how you're using it and what you're using it for.
And I think you keyed in on a point there that I'll land is I think it's going to turn into a disclosure that they just put on there, like this was enhanced with AI, or there's some kind of basic framework legal language that they just throw on there as a watermark at the beginning. They throw it in the description on Spotify on a thing, and it just it becomes a thing you see at all times. Like every time you look at a financial video on YouTube, you see that this is not investment advice. Future performance is not, or past performance is not predictive of future performance. It's like the blanket shit you always see, and I think it's just gonna be jammed in there as a throwaway statement, and that's how we're gonna deal with it.
It's sort
I
of
don't
like
think
it's a
be any
different
more.
scale for sure, because this is threatening. I don't know if threatening. I mean, this is definitely affecting creative artists differently than this did, but sort of like when hand-drawn animation made their transition towards digital animation. I think the reason that they didn't have to do disclosures like this was not is because it was so abundantly obvious that it was a different animation style. It was no longer hand-drawn, but it's like the same thing. You could argue that someone could create a beautiful work of art using digital animation that they could never reproduce hand drawn, and then so you have that argument of like, well, he could never draw that. It's like, no, but this is a different platform. It's a different. So like, do you treat like AI assisted writing? Do you just have it as is it a different platform? Like, is it gonna have its own category? This is AI assisted fiction, or like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I guess it's like you said, maybe it's just one flat disclosure, but I think there's gonna be a little bit more to it than that. Like, it's almost gonna be like its own genre with subgenres. That's how I like. That's where I could see it going.
I think it's going to be bled into like everything, and to even what you just commented on with Ben Affleck's point. It's like it's a tool that everyone's using. It's already inherited the whole thing. It's like to me, it would be, you know, adding a disclaimer like I used a pencil instead of a pen while writing the script. It's
Yeah.
just that fundamental
Yeah.
in the creation
So
process.
that's what I mean. Like, where do we draw
What
the
do you
line?
do?
Like,
Like, this is pen written,
or is it
documentaries.
like, is there a percentage? You like, is it a percentage amount that you can
How do you
use
define that,
without
you know?
quoting,
Yeah.
or like,
Well, yeah, 'cause
without
there's-
citing
to
before?
How many
me-
of your lyrics?
There's a clear difference between somebody who's written the lyrics themselves, uploads it, has AI make a song for them, versus somebody just putting in a prompt, I want a sad song about puppies
Yeah.
in a car. And then that's all the work they did, and they get a full song, versus somebody who actually spent the time write out these lyrics, and they don't have the, you know, the musical talent, but they want to put the song out there.
This to me, your what your argument is for wanting like this filter and stuff like that. This to me is inherently what the Spotify platform is, which is a preference tool. To
Yeah.
put music in front of you that you like, and to me, it's this is definitely not going anywhere. And the fact that you're being fed AI music means that you probably like AI music, or you're listening to it. But that's why you're getting fed it so often, or more so than you might even think and realize. Because the whole
I would say
selling point of Spotify is it's going to expose and put in front of you music to keep you interested in using the platform. So if you're super against AI music organically and you're thumbs downing and not liking or don't play this again, the algorithm should be smart enough to go kind of pick up on like, hey, it's not liking this stuff, and associate that with AI, whatever that is, and say, hey, we're not going to play that anymore. That's the whole idea of that platform, right? Especially the
yes,
category that you're
but
talking about. where
I
it's
don't think
presenting
it's
new
that
music.
smart yet. Like, I know their algorithm's crazy insane, but right now I think the point it's at is I like rock music, therefore here's an AI rock song. Like, it's not it can't differentiate
I don't
between
think
an
it's
AI rock
determining-
and a rock.
It's determining like whether or not you are okay with AI or not. It's determining it with the genre it's in. So the algorithm is working like, oh, he likes, you know, this EDM beats or whatever. Here's a song that we'll think of, like it's completely fully AI generated. But then when you say, I don't like this, it doesn't know you don't like it because it's AI. It just thinks, oh, maybe he doesn't like this genre as much as we thought. And then it kind of fucks with the algorithm. So like, I think there's a lot for them to figure out and work through before it works in that way, at least the way it should.
Yeah. Because I mean they did the one
They
thing
might have a tag in the future, it's like AI, and still have the content on there. And you might be able to say here soon, you might be able to say like, I don't like this because AI.
Yeah.
Rather than just disliking it, it'll say like why. And there'll be a drop down of why you don't like it.
The only comment Spotify has made on that forum chain I'm on was that they are working on getting a artist label. So like, in which is I'm happier with that than nothing, but just an artist label down at the bottom. But then who even knows, like you said, if that comes into account of the algorithm, if it knows, you know,
Right.
oh, that's AI, and it's because it's AI, he doesn't like it. So it's, but see, then like I don't mind. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough decision, or not tough decision, tough argument.
I
to
just
have.
don't want, for me, I just don't want things like artists to be disingenuous.
Yeah,
if you used AI in your music, if I like the song, then cool. I just want you to tell me up front.
Yeah.
Like same thing, um, like books. There's a huge problem right now with books being solely written by AI that aren't being disclosed. I'm okay with like if you say, "Hey, I wrote this book. I used AI as an editor. It's a lot cheaper than hiring somebody. And
Yeah.
it speeds up the process." As long as you tell me that up front, if I still enjoy your book, I'll still read it.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest with me and tell me that that's what you did.
You can't say, "Oh yes,
Yeah.
this was my genius, all of it."
Yeah, I
by
didn't-
myself.
I did the editing. I did the self-publish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to say that up front. Because I do think that there's a lot of there's a lot of artists out there that either get stifled by time or when it comes to music, maybe like just they aren't as skilled and
Yeah.
limited, but they have a vision and they have an idea for what they want to do. And if they're putting in the effort, figure out making it how they want to make it, I don't see anything wrong with them using AI to help them get there. If that's what they're passionate about, just tell the audience that's what you did.
Do YouTube videos then need to do this as well? Put a disclaimer that they use.
I think so. I
think for
still can see it pretty well. Like I could still point it out, at least at this point in AI's life cycle.
boy, it's gotten good.
But
Yeah.
eventually won't be able to. And I want you to tell me up front if there's anything AI generated about.
That's fair. I think for me, I go to these platforms, Spotify, YouTube, whatever, to be entertained. Spotify I go to be entertained with music. I go to YouTube to be entertained with visual entertainment. And so for me as a I don't really have much reverence for the artist. I never have with anything really that I consume. And that's definitely a knock on my personal preferences because I feel like I am doing an injustice to a lot of creators. But
This is a guy that doesn't like story in video
Yeah.
games.
so so for me it's however you need to optimize for that experience. So if Spotify's failing by not serving you enough non-AI content and they are not including the parameters of their algorithm to say, hey, is this an AI song or not? And so they keep suggesting things, then to me that service is no longer working for you. And so
So-
you should go to another platform that is supportive of
Here's
that
the
idea.
thing. I've heard of one that a lot of people are in the forum are talking about is Deezer. I didn't try that one, but they were also talking about Apple Music. I tried to go to Apple Music. They had like a free 3-month trial, and I did the song transfer. And the thing was, I lost out. So many of my songs were just not
on Apple.
on Apple
There.
Music, and I was like,
God,
right now-
we're licensing hell.
yeah, right now, music, like my music library is more important than this AI because I can
Yes.
still tell. I can still hear an AI song and I'm like, okay, nope, skip. But, who knows when that.
I don't think I've ever had a single AI song recommended to me on Spotify, but I'm also not as adventurous in music as you are.
Yeah,
I have like
500 artists.
yeah, I get like into grooves of things I like, and I just kind of listen to those over and over again, and then I
Uh-huh.
move into a new section. And
I play
don't-
my liked songs constantly.
yeah.
Like
I don't think
no
I
venture.
ever say like
Yeah.
what's it called on Spotify?
Oh, Discover Weekly.
I never touch that.
I
So that's-
kind of stopped touching it when
Yeah.
Release Radar. But Release Radar, it'll show you new songs from your artists that you listen to.
Yeah.
But then, what it's always done, and I haven't had an issue with it until now, is that if there aren't enough new songs from your artists, it'll
Yeah.
put like suggested songs,
yeah.
and that's where I've gotten the AI is in those sections.
I used to listen to the DJ. I don't do that anymore because he just kind of like
Always does the same
recommends-
shit.
It's not fresh enough.
No.
And sometimes he gets hyper focused on genres that I barely touched, and all of a sudden he thinks I love it. The DJX or whatever. So really, the only thing I do is I popped on the like music, and sometimes I'll put on that magic mode or whatever that filters
Smart shuffle?
smart shuffle that filters in stuff it thinks you might like. But that's like the only way I listen to Spotify.
So this podcast, our logo is completely AI generated.
No, that was all me.
even the icons of like our faces and stuff with like the shadows.
Yeah, he found that.
I made that before AI was
Oh,
something I dabbled in.
even the going live card tile and everything.
That was all.
that.
I designed all that for real.
Okay.
Yeah. Had I have been as well versed in AI back in the day when I did
I don't
that,
even know if that was really available 5 years ago.
I used
At our
AI.
fingertips.
So when I did this, it was like 2020,
Yeah.
and I used
6 years ago.
Canva
Oof.
at the time. I used Canva, and it was pre AI integration. Canva's very AI fueled now. It was before it was any of that. AI, when I made this, AI was in its super infant stages. Remember, because we were playing around when they first started doing image generation, and it was so bad.
Yeah,
and we were still like, "Wow!"
You could take
Like,
two things and like mash them together.
yeah. Like,
Dolly.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
so I can say with confidence that yes,
So we don't need a disclosure.
not that it's amazing or anything,
Yeah.
but it is real.
We are AI free on this podcast, folks.
Yeah, I used that
I
with
am all real.
existing assets on Canva at the time.
I wonder if it's going to get to a point like where we can submit samples of our podcasts, and be like generate an episode,
Yeah.
and it generates an hour-long video for free for us to just.
I think if
post.
it it probably could do it pretty well if it
And we
had
host-
enough of our stuff to
And enough
we do
water.
like a
in
live
and-
premiere, so it just feels like it's live,
yeah.
and then we can act like we're live. And
The only
it's
thing
totally
in-
made up.
We haven't like done anything with our actual podcast hosting platform in a long time, but the only thing I did AI for a while was towards the end of when we used to upload to Spotify and stuff. I used to have AI
Do the descriptions.
do the descriptions,
That's right.
and I opened up every single one with the following description was generated by AI.
You did.
Every single one.
So we're in the clear, boys.
So I've always been honest about that. Okay. Some of our shorts have funny AI images in it
At
that
the
I
end.
haven't at the end that I have not disclosed.
Like
Like for
pops
Yes,
up.
they, yeah,
for
yeah,
humorous
yeah.
like a humorous effect, not for like any other reason.
So here's the
So maybe I gotta go and I gotta edit all those titles.
to disclose
Yeah.
made with AI. So should there be repercussions for people who?
Yeah, but like, what's the scale? Like, how do you?
well, that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? It's like we're saying you should disclose it, but again, it's like that past performance is not. It just becomes part of the noise. No one gives a fuck about it. It means nothing, and they just slap it on. Like, should there be repercussions for people who use AI and don't disclose it? Should there be some
I mean, in a,
copyright forfeiting?
I think is most
or
like. That's a good point. Maybe copyright forfeiture if like you don't own
you're
it if you
misleading
didn't
the-
properly cite
Yeah.
your sources. Or just I don't know. That's the only thing I could see actually working, is if your work becomes instant public domain or something if you wasn't properly.
if you
you
didn't
know.
create it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would, in a perfect world, I'd like to see it get like, like how YouTube will remove a copyright video. Same type of deal.
If
It'll
it's not disclosed property.
yeah, it'll
properly.
remove, ask you to disclose it, and then you can re-upload it, and if it's disclosed.
I don't think that like they should be fined because I don't even know how you regulate that or like that just
$5 million.
Yeah, like
What do they call that? Like DSMC or whatever, where you get if you do like a
DMCA.
DMCA, thank you, where you get copyright strike for like music, whatever. There's like a
Yeah.
AI strike.
no.
Like take this down, or the AI conglomerate will
You know
fine
what's funny is they would use AI to determine if it was AI.
Right, the best AI. Team
Yeah.
ever,
It's like, and then we turn into Blade Runner.
This weird. It's happening right before our
Replicant
very
hunters.
eyes.
Sick.
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 We should ask AI to write a story about this.
They could calculate how much water you used up and charge. That's your fine.
It's like one of those. It's like that green credit that you can buy every time you book a flight. It's like spend an extra $3 to offset your carbon emissions, whatever. And it's like some place plants 3 trees or whatever in your honor.
That's the other thing too. I know we're like joking about it, but there's like huge ethical debate about like the damages it's doing environmentally as well. And that's something I had not really like even researched until very recently.
Uh-huh.
I started like looking into it, and I was actually kind of surprised to see just how much like I was like, man, he uses a lot of power for this shit to do this, you know. And I don't know if that's one of those things that just like we're just gonna sweep under the rug, or like, you know, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'd like to think technologically we're going to trend in a direction where it's going to be not as computationally expensive power wise.
Like it'll balance out eventually.
That it'll, instead of, because I know we're tapering off heavily in terms of, you know, these AIs, they're not functionally getting way better at writing an essay.
They are
Yeah,
starting
It's
like
just, it's plateauing. There's only
there was a
so
lot
much
of
you
rapid
can go.
improvement up front, and now the improvements are just getting more and more minor with each new release.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm wondering if like Moore's law can apply to performance. I mean, that's effectively so. I mean, I could talk about Moore's law for a second because I think it's actually really interesting. Moore's law was a thing not because we just were getting way better at designing chips, but because we could print these chips on smaller nodes.
Yeah.
So, you know, we would go from 200 nanometer to 100 nanometer to 50 nanometer to, I think we have now like 3 nanometer, and it's actually we're at like the physical limit of what the silicon can actually handle, and like the connections, like you can't send a current through it because it gets so small. Like
Yeah.
we're at like a physical limit. Like physics we're now battling that, not a better machine. And so where have we seen performance gains? AI.
Yeah.
We're just generating fake frames. We're generating fake, calculations and stuff like that. And so
you have to fake it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
just to gain that
improve,
extra
yeah.
performance. And so
it's crazy.
what we're so what
10
we're
years
seeing
ago?
is
Can you
that's
imagine this being a
unbelievable.
conversation?
Yeah,
10
right?
years ago. Like,
let's generate a completely made up frame based on what you did before. Like, huh?
to synthetically improve frames to ungodly levels.
Yeah.
And it works.
And
if
it
it
works,
works.
really well. I mean, there's people who do this for a living. Like Linus Tech Tips is someone I really, really respect in the industry. And he'll have to like sit there and he looks at him, and sometimes he's even wrong at guessing, but he's pretty good at guessing. And I'm like, this guy's one of the best in the world at identifying the differences between the two, like DLSS and non-DLSS
Yeah.
frame generation. And he's like really having to bring it into high contrast light areas and like the weakest points of the DLSS
Right.
and side by side comparison. It's like, if I'm just playing a fucking game, I don't
yeah,
care.
gamers don't
Like,
they won't
yeah.
notice that. They won't
But
care.
I mean, we're talking about all level performance here. I mean, we can get. I mean, we can really. That's where a lot of performance can get better. Where it's like, hey, we just are more and more predictive about what game you're creating. Which then it's like, then it gets into these weird conversations of, well, now when you optimize your game, are you just making a very basic game that like is very predictable?
yeah.
Because now you can just generate. Like you could simulate the whole game just in this like bubble. I don't know. So there's just like there's a bunch of weird conversations to be had around that. But yeah, I don't. As far as I think the Moore's law. I think bringing it back to the original point, the Moore's law might apply to power. Might be an inverted Moore's law graph where it's like the power consumption drops down and tapers off to where we can get the compute down to something like really, really basic now.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking. I don't know if it was just when you and I were on, but I was having this conversation with somebody else. But there are some of these data centers that literally have plans to have a nuclear power plant attached to it so they can be off grid. And the idea is because they can't be tied to the grid because they just consume too much power.
Yeah.
XAI, Elon Musk's AI place.
Grok.
Yeah, Grok. I saw an overhead site plan for what they were building, and I'm like, wow, that's huge. One. And then I'm like, wow, those are huge diesel generators. Just like you have the big data warehouse. It's a boring building. There's not much that goes on. And then just massive diesel generators with diesel storage on site. And you're like, wow, there's a lot of like backup power that, you know, if it's ready, that's the supplemental power because the grid won't supply them anymore. So that's not backup. It's supplemental to make up the difference, the delta.
Crazy.
And you're like, wow. So, you know, I think we'll get better.
Elon Musk has said some crazy stuff about his predictions on like where AI is going and stuff, and he's talking about like not. I mean, like he kind of puts time frames on it, but then he's kind of wishy washy about how he's a
His
lot
time
of things.
frames are always way aggressive, which
Yeah,
I appreciate.
Yeah, but he's talking about like eventually like all the things that just won't matter in future society, like wealth, money, like jobs. Most of them are going to get eliminated, and he's like already making plans for like what we're supposed to do as humans when we're not tied down to like all this other stuff. Like
Yeah.
if we're not tied down to doing things for a living,
We need something.
we're
to
not
do.
tied down to like having a job. Like he's like already making plans of like what society should be doing when that happens, so there's not a total collapse. And I'm like, if it ever gets to that point, which I don't know, well, that's a huge conversation in itself, but like if it ever gets to that point, it's like things are going to be really hard for a while
Yeah.
before they become enlightened. You know what I mean? Like
when you rob a man of purpose, which most people derive their purpose through a job,
yeah,
what do? Like idle hands are where the devils play. Like that's a famous line.
yeah,
And like you all of a sudden rob people of purpose, suicide rates are going to go through the roof. Fucking all purpose crime, as far as I'm concerned, probably is going to skyrocket. Not in the terms of need, but just because like
Bored.
you're just fucking bored.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like I can't even imagine. I mean, we've talked about this before. What we met, like we've had this conversation of what does it take to get a robot in your house? Well, they got to be able to design and function like a human, because our houses and our lives are reflected around human 10 fingers.
Yeah.
Right. That's what things are eye level for adults, right? Like between 5 feet and 7 feet, like everything's designed to function. So you need something that's like that. And then we talked about this with when that viral video was popping off of that robot doing like basic things like laundry and stuff.
Yeah.
And the idea was for it to be able to do laundry and for people to feel comfortable about doing laundry, it needs to be able to do everything else, right? Because it can't grab the laundry pile and the dog is in there and it throws the dog in the laundry because it just isn't processed. So it has to have context of everything. And so then when you apply that, it's like, okay, now it can actually do everything. And now it doesn't take breaks, and it's always can be actively producing. So think about, you have a little plot of land. And in that, it builds a greenhouse for you, and it plants all the food that you're ever going to eat. And then it coordinates with all the other robots in your community to say, hey, I'm going to grow carrots, cabbage, and spinach, and you grow whatever, and like you balance it out. And then there's trades of goods, but there's no cost to it because it's the robot, because there's no labor overhead.
Robots.
So yeah, exactly. So they're doing all the trade stuff. So you're getting your food. You don't have to work because everything is paid for. You can like travel costs, because chauffeurs and energy costs can drop so low that it doesn't really matter. I mean, the state that I think Kyle's referencing there it's such a dream, futuristic state that brings with it probably a lot of bad shit, because people are going to be really searching for purpose.
It's not going to go from this
But-
to like we're the enlightened
Instantly.
beings.
Yeah.
Like it's. I am almost like worried that that's going to happen in our lifetime, on how humans are going to deal with that. Like that's like apocalyptic level shit. Like you had this quote. I just went back to find it because I didn't want to misquote it. It was a throwaway quote that you had said, but I always found it to be so perfect when you
I know which
said,
one you're
yeah,
talking
you
about.
said, we'll literally be able to do whatever we want, which is the most depressing thing ever. Yeah. And I think that sums up it
exactly the
perfectly.
conflict that we're
Yeah.
talking about. Hey, because I don't know. Just imagine not going to work.
Look at
today.
the current human cycle, where just even internet, even AI now, how slow to adopt these new ideas and new systems. And then you also have like the people that are against it, right? And
Because
you
they
have
don't want their AI music.
yeah, they have this whole faction, like seatbelts. People were pissed about seatbelts and I mean,
A
it wasn't as
generation.
long. Yeah,
Those ideas didn't die.
My
Or
dad's
they
still
didn't
pissed
dwindle.
about
They
seatbelts.
died. Yeah.
He literally, I mean, my dad does come from a time.
So is it like, are we going to be those people?
Seatbelts became legal or illegal to not wear, like in our lifetime.
In our
I remember
lifetime.
when it happened. I was
remember
a kid.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That was recommended, but then they were required when I was like in middle school or
So
elementary.
are we gonna be those people? Are we gonna be the
100%.
Yeah.
You're already like it with the AI like music, and to me,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
It
does
I'm
our
already like
jobs.
it.
yeah.
Like I said, I use AI probably more than both of you, and
Yeah.
I still feel that way. Like I still feel like
Wait till
like,
AI is doing like all road construction. People are fucking taking baseball bats while they drive down the road and smacking them across the face.
well, it's huge in the medical
Like-
field though too. Like, so one, it's
better
aided.
not be no AI operating on me.
It's
God
like
dang AI.
it's aided in advancements incredibly well. Like there are some people that are saying, and again, for anyone listening, don't like quote me on this, but like they're saying like by the year 2050, like over 90% of different types of cancers are just going to be treated as a chronic condition you treat because of the advancements with AI, like that are helping them move in that direction. Like that's obviously a good thing, but then there's other sides of it where like, you got Elon Musk saying things like surgeons are going to be fully replaced by AI robots because they're going to be much more reliable. They're going to be better at it than any human could ever be. And then you start like thinking about like, okay, well, I mean, what happens if like an EMP goes off? You know what I mean? And someone needs emergency surgery and no one knows how to do it. Like that's obviously a kind of a crazy scenario. You know what I mean? But like, I do think that it is a worrisome if we ever get to the point where like there are people that just can't do it anymore.
I'd argue
you
we're
know?
already there. Look
Like-
at COVID. All COVID did was say, "Hey, stay at your house." Oh, by the way, you have more entertainment than anyone in history. You can watch every Netflix show ever. Like you have all the power didn't go out. People were getting checks up the wazoo. Everybody was fine.
Toilet paper was gone.
Toilet paper was tough to get, but I think we can work around that.
I
And-
used paper towels at one point. Don't bring me back to.
And there was people who literally fucking broke at that
Yeah.
because they couldn't like get out of their house for 2 weeks or whatever it was. I mean, it was. That's how fragile society is.
Unless you were a frontline worker.
That's right.
Well, even then though, didn't they close you guys down for a little bit? Like didn't they hard close it for like a few days at the very least?
It was
Was
like
it even that long?
It was like 2 days. I feel like
Back
It
at
was
our old
the
company.
mandatory
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
lockdown where you were not allowed to leave was very, very short
Yeah.
from what I remember.
I'm not so like
At least
we
where
couldn't
live.
do anything except go to work and then go home for what felt like a month at least.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Um,
entertainment stuff was not like you were not
yeah.
going out to eat and stuff like that. But
Like
then,
yeah, we never went out. We never like
and
I
that was
never-
enough to like literally
for like a
break
month
people.
straight. I did not do anything except go to work and then come back home, and I didn't even like see family during that time because there were like people that were sick, and at that time it was still in its infancy, and everyone was saying like. At one point, it sounds silly now when you talk about it, but at one point the rhetoric was like, if you got COVID, you died. Like
Yeah.
that's what people were thinking.
Yeah.
And then like as it
I remember
progressed, we realized it wasn't quite like that, like you had to have some pre-existing conditions or a particularly hard strain or something. Like it wasn't just like you got it and died. But like that's what everyone thought. at
we
first.
were like, I remember the first thing that I rationalized it from all the media that I was understanding was baseline across the board had a 5% kill rate, and then if you were over like 60, at a 20% kill rate.
Yeah.
That's kind of what initially in like early March. That's what I remember reading. I was like, fuck.
And then
And
when
then
people
you're like,
started
oh.
realizing like
Maybe we don't put people on ventilators.
it wasn't
Maybe we don't
like
do
it
this.
wasn't a death sentence if you got it, then it turned into this whole political.
Political.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, health should never be a political thing, but it turned into a political thing, and it was crazy times.
crazy times.
Crazy times.
It's like we lost the institutional narrative of like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Because nobody knew. You can't come out and say that.
There was like a solid, like at least a solid couple weeks that I feel like that like the whole world was united, and
Oh,
then it deteriorated
yeah.
quick.
100%. People
Yeah.
don't remember. Like people forget that. Like everybody was like, "Oh shit, don't pass it." Like we're gonna do our jobs as civilians, and then it was like,
It felt like America trying to land on the moon again for like a couple weeks, and then it
and
just
I think-
completely collapsed.
because who was president at the time? That was Trump, right? Or at the very beginning, right?
The very very beginning was Trump, and then
Because
I think by the time it was in full swing, it was Biden.
Because
but-
I think a few people, like public figures, started getting it. and then they were like
first-
surviving, and you
The
were
first
like,
public
"Oh,
figure
maybe
I
it's
remember
not."
getting it again, and we were like, they're gonna die. Was Tom Hanks?
You're right.
Tom Hanks got
Yeah.
it, and he was like the
And
first.
he
big name,
recovered.
and he recovered.
And then I think we heard enough stories where like people were coming back and we're like, well, where's all these people dying? And then that's when the political like, whoa, they're lying to us.
Yeah.
The fucking world's fine. It's fake. It's like, all right.
like, why is it so one extreme or the other?
Oh,
You
you're
know?
a sheep, I see.
Yeah. Like, nope,
Boy.
I just have a mortgage.
I
that
should
I'd
have
like
started.
to
I
pay.
should have made hats.
You should have.
I have a friend who made masks and made like 50 grand. Like he's learned how to sew and made $50,000.
I knew some people. I don't think I knew anybody making that kind of money, but I knew a lot of people that went into the mask game for a little bit there. Yeah.
For
And what's crazy is that's the same year that we formed this podcast.
Yeah.
Feels like a lifetime ago, but also
We
not
never
that long ago
skipped
at the
a-
same time.
we never skipped a poker night. I'll tell you that.
No.
we wore. I wore a mask I think the first time, and then I was like, all right, I'm not
I did
fucking
too the
doing
first time, and then I kind of got over it after
Yeah.
that. But I was,
this. I was like, all right.
yeah.
We didn't skip.
Well, because at the
No,
time I was
true.
living at home because I was buying this house,
Yeah.
and I was like, if I fucking get my grandma sick, she's dead, 20% kill rate, you know.
Yeah.
And then you kind of realize like, oh, okay, like the people that are really dying are the ones that are like dead, basically. And, maybe
And I'm
it's
not
as
trying to
bad.
downplay like the effects that COVID has had on some people. Like Dylan and I do know, people that have
One of our coworkers.
passed from that, and it was a very serious thing. But then, like, the more you look at it, the more you're like, okay, there was a lot of pre-existing things
Mhm.
going on, and it was more
They
than
were just
just
weak.
like they were just healthy and then got it and then died. Like that ended up being the rare thing when that happened, very rare.
Yeah.
Still, 6 years ago now, I still remember to this day, like end of 2019, beginning of 2020, like we started hearing rumors and talking about things, and like we were laughing about it. We were like, "What? This is so stupid."
virus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we had to,
Bat soup.
and then from January to March, it was like, "Oh shit!"
I think the first
Like,
guy that got sick was in either the Bay Area or Texas, I think. And then
uh,
from what I remember, and then it was like, oh shit, we got one. Okay, are we good? Oh, there's 3 now. Okay, hold on. Are we gonna get this?
Right.
There's 8 now. Okay, hold on.
and
Let's
then
let's
it literally turned into
50, and then you're like, okay, it's
thousands.
fucking done. We're done
Yeah,
now.
it turned
And
into
then you're watching it
thousands.
every day. Fucking 250, 2.5 million people got infected today. And 20% of them are gonna die. Like, yeah, like,
That
it
was,
was
like
just wild. Like that's
Yeah.
what the world was, and the news was just raking in the cash. They're like, yeah, we're gonna
That
pump
and
this shit.
all the billionaires. got-
Holy fuck!
they literally went from like Musk was worth like 50 billion, which was obviously still insane, but like he went from that to
That's
like
not the most.
he went from that to like
He needs more.
300 billion.
Do you know what he's worth
Um,
now?
How much now?
I think it's over 800. He's
Insane.
about to be. He's gonna be
Yeah.
a trillionaire probably in the next 3 years.
But even Jeff Bezos, he was worth like 20 billion, and he went up to like over 100 billion. Like
Oh, dude,
it was
overnight.
insane what COVID did for them.
Because the stock market just exploded,
Yeah.
like quadrupled. If SpaceX goes public, he will be a trillionaire, as far as I'm concerned.
and he's over here like,
it's unfathomable.
in the 10 years, money won't matter.
Like it matters to him right now.
Yeah. I won't
He's
have
a
to worry
fucking
about it
anomaly,
anymore.
Dude, that guy's an anomaly.
He's so
he has
hard
so
to-
many kids with all these different women. Like,
Yeah.
he's just a goofy guy.
He's like full on, like
Autistic.
hard on for Trump, and then a month later he's like anti-Trump, and then he's like
He's back in it.
He's back in it now. Like it's just a wild guy for sure. Like, and I think he's just like he does.
I'm just glad he's on the good guy's side.
I do.
That's all I care. Because that guy, if he put his mind to some bad shit,
Is he a
could
Nazi?
probably do some
I do
really
think
bad
that
shit.
he's definitely like got a lot of savant level stuff going on in his head, but like he's such a like polarizing figure, and for good reason. Like some of the stuff he does is like insane batshit, and you're like, why did you do that? Like, why did you say that? Why
What?
did you do that?
Don't make these people
then
your heroes.
He has enough money to just toss at problems.
Yeah, like 800 billion too. Like I mean,
Like the rockets, right? He made the what are they called? The grasshopper or whatever. Rockets that can be returned.
They call that the grasshopper? I've never heard that phrase.
I thought it was something like that. I might be wrong.
I mean,
It's
I
called
could
the
see
cricket.
it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
those rockets,
Yeah,
they
where
used to just
they land the boosters.
fucking
yeah.
blow up.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, I mean the advancements that they're. I mean, you'd
He's
be
put money
silly
into
not to
crazy
acknowledge.
ideas, and he's worked. Like the guy runs the largest. The guy runs the largest fucking vehicle company, not electric vehicle company.
Yeah.
The guy runs the largest space program company. The guy runs the largest social media platform. I
Yeah.
mean, other than Meta, but like, and then by the way, he's like competing to be the largest AI company.
Yeah.
It's just his secret talent is hiring amazing engineers. Anytime I ever watch, like, and then don't forget Neuralink and like these random pet
Yeah.
projects
Yeah.
that are just a few $1 billion.
That's it.
It's a startup.
Every time I listen to like even the SpaceX where they like bring on the lead engineers and stuff, or they do like any of the stuff with Doge where they brought in like a bunch of the people that were coming in and examine, like you just listen to these people talk and you're just like, they operate at a really different level, and you're like, this guy just has the ability to hire talent. Like people will flock to him, and they work their fucking ass off.
He inspires people almost in a cult like way.
100%.
Like-
My uncle's a forklift driver for
Yeah.
him at a Tesla plant here, and he thought he was changing the world. I'm not kidding you. His words.
Yeah.
He was like, I felt like every day I was making the world a better place. I'm
Yeah.
like, he drove a forklift. But that's the level of cult like that he was able to. That's an amazing thing. That's a
Yeah.
fucking talent, dude. That's amazing.
It's dangerous though too.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
no question that could be
Dangerous.
weaponized.
Yeah.
Good thing he doesn't own a rocket tech. Oh wait,
Oh wait.
like, come on.
I always laugh because Mark Zuckerberg, he got super over the last couple of years, got super into like fighting and like
Big
MMA
time.
and stuff, and like he would rent, like he's done stuff like rent out UFC like Vegas events for just like him and his friends, where they bought all the tickets just so that like only him can watch him and stuff. Like,
What the?
and
fuck?
Dana White just okayed
Allowed
that,
that?
just allowed that. Not for like actual pay-per-views, but like for like the free
The
fights.
lesser fights?
Yeah, the lesser fight.
Okay.
He's done that before. But anyways, so he started training and he got in actually like phenomenal shape because he was training with like actual UFC.
He's like pretty good,
gold
right?
standards.
Yeah.
For an average Joe.
Well,
yeah.
he goes to
he's-
like, but he doesn't he does jujitsu, right?
yeah, he does jiu-jitsu.
And he goes to
and-
because he was on I think Joe Rogan and I watched him a few years
Yeah.
ago. Like he competes and he's won like championships for his belt. Like I don't know what champion. Like he won the event.
he's
or
won
whatever.
events. Like
for-
he's good for like, he's
A
never
billionaire.
Yeah, a billionaire. He's not gonna, like
That's amazing that he's
Yeah.
put that level of passion. in
But-
there.
that was the one thing also when him and Elon were gonna fight each other for the longest time.
I still
And
hope
they
that
were like
happens.
they were actually like promoting it, and I'm like, Elon, dude, you
You're gonna
look
get
like
fucked up.
shit. But you're
Yeah.
gonna get fucked up by Mark Zuckerberg.
Dude, Elon was on Joe Rogan. And he was like talking about it. And he's like, I'm in a different weight class. And it was like
He's like, I'll just lay on him, and I'm like, you have no.
and Joe was
training.
like, I don't think you understand. Like, that's not how that works.
Like you
but-
think that now, and on top of that, you're not that much bigger than him. Like you're
and
not gonna
like
just
flabby.
yeah, you're not gonna just lay on him and think that
I was
that's gonna
thinking the
work.
shirtless pic of him where he's got like the square chest.
Yeah.
Such a weird physique.
It was so funny. There's that viral picture of Mark Zuckerberg for a while where he's posing with Alex Volkanovski, arguably one of the greatest MMA fighters of his weight class of like all time, and Israel Adesanya, another one, like one of the best middleweights that's ever existed in MMA. And Mark Zuckerberg's like in the middle, just like he was just training with them. And he's like smiling, all sweaty, just jacked. And they're just like, I wonder how much he paid them to have them train him. Like,
Probably nothing because everyone wants to kiss the ring of royalty. Like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
true,
that's
like, it's
fucking Mark
just-
Zuckerberg.
I just want to
Yeah.
like have
his
that
aura,
picture.
his aura,
He probably compensated them in some
carries
way.
weight.
Here's some meta glasses.
Yeah, there you
Here's your own personal slave.
Your own person.
go. We're working on
This
this.
is escalating.
I still don't really know what the hell they're doing.
It's like, this is my new AI assistant, and you're like, no, that's a human. Like, no, it's AI.
And Meta's like doing really well as a company, and I don't know what his whole metaverse thing is not.
It didn't do it. It didn't go anywhere. I don't
know
think.
where it's at. Like they had this whole idea to like bring it in with oh my god, what was the name of that? Those like microtransactions things. That was part of like the blockchain, and you would sell them as
NFT?
the
Like
NFTs. Thank you. NFTs. Remember when those popped off for about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And they did like I think they did a demo where they were like, okay, it's gonna be these virtual worlds, and then you can own real estate as NFTs in the virtual world that everyone engages in. And I was like, oh god, like, you're selling me something that I can then buy more shit from you. Like that. What is the what?
It was like he was trying to go for like Ready Player One,
Yeah.
the
That's what
the virtual
yeah.
world, but
Apparently the hardware stuff that they're building is incredible. I guess like they just dropped, I think, or they're coming out with new glasses. Apparently they're amazing.
apparently
Apparently.
The augmented reality on them is incredible
Yeah.
too. And then they're partnered with Oakley on everything, so they are comfortable and they like look decent.
Yeah.
But because that's to me gonna be is the augmented reality. The glasses that have a camera on everything, so you can record,
Yeah.
and then
Tony Stark shit.
yeah, exactly. And then the augmented where you can be like, hey, blah blah blah, do this, and then it's just
Show me-
paired to your phone, and it's doing everything.
big titty goth girls.
Ooh,
Nice.
would
Put her
love
right in
that
front of
for
me.
an afternoon
Like-
stroll. What if you're like on a run and then you augment reality, like you're running in Hawaii? And you're just like,
You run into a tree.
I mean, it's
no,
augmented. It
would
wouldn't
be-
just.
you wouldn't-
It wouldn't eliminate actual obstacles.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, oh wow.
It's just a wall.
You would just make it look like a tree in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It'd be depressing.
Huh? That would be depressing?
A little bit.
That you're not there? Or
Yeah.
what if you're not feeling like a deserty vibe or a duney vibe or a tropical vibe? Maybe the people in tropical, like they're like, I want to go to the desert, or or you don't want to look at mountains anymore. You want to look at flatlands.
I
or-
like reality.
You're such a boomer.
this guy. Get on board or get left behind, bro. Okay.
I would rather take a plane.
History will not remember you if you behave like this.
Listen here, bucko.
History is not kind to your fucking folk.
History is written by the victors. It's like, suffer the consequences.
We this past weekend I went and saw the Lord of the Rings all 3 days. Friday,
Oh, really?
Saturday,
I've been
Sunday.
meaning to see it. Don't spoil it.
Quality. Peter Jackson came on and did a speech promo every movie. It was really cool.
I thought you were about
Was
to
it the
say
same
he
every
was
time?
there.
He was.
I was like, in
For a
Reno?
nationwide release, he went to every single theater.
Yeah.
No, he did a promo for about the first movie was the longest. It felt like it was a 30-minute speech, but kind of talked to the audience and thanked them, and then told like an insider story that I had never heard of before, and for each film, it was really cool. And then the films were really, really good.
Surprised you haven't heard them all by now.
Dude, I know. I mean, I've watched the 12 hours of, it's probably more than that, of the behind the scenes footage of them making it. I have the discs, and it has it might be longer than the movies.
Yeah.
It's that detailed and like what went into it. Goes through everything. And I've watched all that, and he told some stories where I'm like, I didn't know that. And it was really, really cool. He talked about one scene how Vigo was like surfing and fell, and like the board smashed his face in, and so he had like huge black eye. So like this whole one scene, the troll scene in the first movie, or when they go to the Mines of Moria,
Yeah.
and like the troll comes in, you'll only ever see the one side of Aragorn's face, because like that whole week that they were filming that,
Black
he
eye.
had a black eye. I'm like, wow. I'm like, how did I never hear that?
I'd have
story
just
before?
like, I'm not a visionary director, but I would have just wrote the black eye into the story.
Yeah, just
like
gets hit.
yeah, like you got hit in a previous attack. You know,
Then it
like,
heals too fast, and then you have to like go reshoot it.
Yeah.
And now you're doing makeup for.
I guess
Then
that's
you
why.
punch him in the eye again.
you
Um,
got to do this for this.
Yep. Vigo, listen.
just take it, dude.
He's like,
Wrong guy.
I thought you were gonna say some great like the Balrog is practical. This is like some random.
They actually had Christopher Nolan come on set to figure that out.
Yeah, before he was the Christopher Nolan, he was just the
He's a high
practical
schooler,
effects. Yeah.
Probably. Then we came home, and on Monday, since it's a 3-day weekend, we watched the Hobbit series.
No.
And I had never really done it where I did Lord of the Rings
Back to
and
back,
then
yeah.
the Hobbit, and the distance kind of grew between the two. I've always been a defender of the Hobbit
No.
because I've always been like, I think I like these films. I think they're fine, and I think the circle jerk fans just need to like calm down.
Yeah.
I can see a little bit more having just watched those films why there's that criticism, but I still like the films. But you watch it and you're like, oh, that was not written that well, or there's some
I've
extra
always
scenes where
been-
you're like, what?
I've always been very avid about The Hobbit is entertaining. It is not on the same level. Like those three movies are just they're just not even close to like the peaks that Lord of the Ring got to. But that doesn't mean they're not fun. You know, they're fun. The main thing is he got greedy with it. He really only needed like one, maybe two movies. The book is not that big.
It's 300 pages.
Yeah, it's
He made 3-hour movies.
yeah, you do not need 3 3-hour movies. And so because of that, he was adding things he didn't need to add and plot lines that weren't, there. But like comparatively, if we're gonna be real about it, comparatively, The Hobbit is not as nearly good a book series as The Lord of the Rings.
No,
Like it was a one and done
it's a
thing.
child's story.
Yeah, it was a one and done. It was a good world that he crafted, that he let sit on the back burner for a long time, and he always just kind of felt like he wasn't ready to give that world up yet, and then he went back and did Lord of the Rings, and he even retconned a lot of stuff that he wrote originally in The Hobbit. Tolkien did. So like,
Yeah. Well,
it just never was going to be the same.
no.
Yeah.
And I've seen some behind the scenes stuff now that I've kind of taken the plunge down the Hobbit to kind of figure out what changed so fundamentally. And he was not allowed to do any pre-production and storyboarding for the Hobbit. He didn't have the time. So the whole time you like watch the behind the scenes stuff, he's basically just sprinting around trying to like get shit done and hodgepodge together. It actually came to a point where he was so frustrated with the producing studios, like forcing him to finish this film, that he called everything off and just paused everything for like 6 months. He said, fuck off. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But still he wasn't allowed to do like the pre-production stuff. And so they just jammed through. And I'm like, what a fucking, it blows my mind. What made Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings? It was the 3 years that they all came together and filmed all three movies at one time.
Yeah.
It was they filmed for like 2 years. It was the pre-production stuff. Everything had
He
TLC.
seemed
Everything
to
was
have
loved.
like creative
you greenlight
control. He was like allowed to do what he wanted to do. They had talked to like literal like Tolkien archivists and like the family about like the story, and like they preserved it as well as you could film wise. Anything they altered, they had great consideration before doing so, and talked about like the differences between book and film and what might be more important. Like, so there was no changes made willy-nilly. Like it was all like very thoughtfully done.
Yeah, but it's like exactly all of that went into the first films, the Lord of the Rings series,
Yeah.
and then none of that for the Hobbit. And okay, well, they want to make their money, and they're just trying to jam it through. All of the shit that we're talking about here, what would have been another $50-100 million? I mean, these movies are going to make you $1 billion just by slapping the Hobbit and Peter Jackson's name
Doesn't
on it.
matter, man.
Yeah.
These studios get greedy as hell.
I could make the argument 10 ways to Sunday that it would have made that back in tenfold if they would have put that into the pre-production plan. Like, give Peter all the credence he could.
Ultimately, they probably still
blew
would have made
my
less
mind.
if they did like one, maybe two high quality films. It would have made less than doing 3 average ones.
Well, I don't even think 3 was the issue. I think to me,
I
it's
think
just
that's a huge part of it.
to me, it's just give Peter Jackson the time he needed to make the great. All the magic was there. You got all of the cast back that you needed to have back, and you have a dedicated fan base that like is drooling over this. Just even if they marched out a half-ass, well, I guess it was half. It was still a half-ass because I still enjoy them. So it wasn't like it was totally unwatchable. But it's just weird to me how you could go into a franchise and that's what made it, and then just completely abandon all of those and even rationalize that in your mind. Like that's kind of bonkers to me.
The Lord of the Rings fan base is pretty toxic too. Though.
Beyond toxic.
Yeah, like that's their whole problem with the ring.
You
Rings
put the
of
wrong
Power
adverb in the wrong spot, and it's like you fucking stab Tolkien.
Well, like Tolkien was such a lover of language. He was practically like a linguistics. That was his main thing, and so he was very meticulous and thoughtful of how he worded everything. And so because of that, he created this fandom that also feels the same way, but it's like too much.
There's so much circle jerking. Can't you at Oxford? Can't you get like a degree in Tolkien?
I don't know for sure. I'd have to. I don't know if I can confirm that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Like you can get there's people out there with like, I have a degree in Tolkien.
I mean,
what is American mythology? Because Tolkien created. He was such a proud like British dude that he wanted he wanted England to have its own
is
Marvel.
Christianity.
I thought about this.
I mean, so we're talking about
Greek mythology, which basically influences all Europe.
If we're talking about modern stuff,
English.
then yeah, I guess superheroes is a very American thing. But like other than that, it would be like folklore, like Paul Bunyan and Johnny Appleseed,
Jack Rabbit.
and John Henry.
But none of that had ever been formalized really into like greater stories, huh?
Nothing on the level.
Like, is there a Paul Bunyan book, or is that just a story that we tell kids?
I mean, there is a book now.
There's books.
Sure, I'm sure now, but like
the
idea of Paul Bunyan, that was just a story that we told, right?
I mean, America has kind of an interesting past. We'll just leave it at that.
With Paul Bunyan?
No, just
Yes.
In general, it's like what's the American mythology? It's like, going in and giving the natives like smallpox. Like,
what's not real? Like, you would base it like
Christopher Columbus.
Remember the good old days where we fucking genocided this great land of people?
No, when it comes to fiction, I want to say like Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan, like
that's actually
and also like
Tom Sawyer.
I would say before
Tom Sawyer's Huckleberry Finn though.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's where Tom's story starts.
Yeah, like
how old's Huckleberry Finn? It's probably not even as old as DC Comics.
Oh, dude, DC Comics, it's older. It's like from the 1800s.
Huckleberry Finn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look it up right now.
Huckleberry Finn's from the 1800s?
Because
I've read it.
The Gold Rush, was right before.
Is this like Mark Twain era?
1884.
Because that is Mark Twain.
Yeah,
Mark Twain wrote Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
But 1884 is when it was written.
So, wow.
Yeah. I would also argue that American mythology, before superheroes, before
this
anything,
industry, no,
is oil.
Yeah.
No,
Rockefellers,
like Western, like cowboy stories, like that kind of shit.
That's really lame.
No, it's true.
Compared to
gods.
universe.
Here's the thing: the United States of America, as it is today, is incredibly young.
Yes.
On the grand scheme of things, we don't have thousands of years of history like European countries do. Like
Uncle Sam.
The America that exists now does not have thousands of years of history the way that know. And so it's just,
but Tolkien created all his shit in like the 30s.
Yeah, based on English like lore and thousands of years of English history. He's a very proud Englishman.
He didn't come up with elves.
Like.
No, I mean, yeah, definitely
he
ripped
is
off a lot
responsible
of those
for a lot of like what happened to fantasy in the 1900s, but like, it wasn't just like that was a 1930s story. You know what I mean? Like,
I think going forward, like, American mythology is definitely comics, though.
Yeah,
it's got to be Marvel. It's got to be DC. It's got to be those stories, which is so interesting because they're so fundamentally different than. Because like Greek mythology, they're not really. This is gonna sound weird, but they're not really like magical beings, in the same sense that I feel like.
You're gonna have to walk me through.
Yeah,
this
explain that one.
Well, this is my take. Like when I think of the world of Tolkien, I think of like magic bleeding into everything.
Yeah.
And then Greek mythology, it's like you really have a series of gods. And yeah, I guess their powers are magical, but it's like this set of gods that have power. It's not the world that's magical.
You need to read more Greek mythology
Why?
because you have.
Because you're wrong.
Well, no,
Maybe.
you have all the monsters: Cyclops, the Minotaur, Scylla. Like the world did have magic. You just aren't. You haven't read the right stuff, I guess.
So I've read Homer
Okay.
in the Odyssey.
Okay.
I read that in high school.
So you should know then that.
I know that there's like Cyclops and stuff like that, but those are just like creatures, really, right?
yeah.
They
so
don't.
that's,
They don't
like-
inherently have like.
Are we talking like a living, like the Force? and
No,
everything?
like elves have certain special, like all elves have like certain special abilities, and they have this attachment to like the natural world and like.
I
with
think they just
light
name
and
them
things like
differently.
that.
demigods.
Like you have the you have demigods, you have titans, you have the god, like, and you have humans in Lord of the Rings are just humans. They're not anything special, but elves are special. So same thing. Humans in Greek mythology are just humans, but
then you have like,
titans, and you have like different.
but you have like powerful object. Like, is there objects that grant power?
Yeah, the Golden
in-
Fleece.
yeah.
What's the
That's-
golden fleece?
So that's the one that Homer puts on to hide himself from the Cyclops. But then it gets like blessed by some god, and it becomes much more. I don't remember what it is, but it becomes
And does it grant like abilities or something? Or
yeah.
I
Like
mean, there's
armor.
always objects. People have always lusted after objects.
Sure.
Achilles' heel.
His
One could
heel-
say that's an object.
That's a debuff that you get, right?
Yeah. Well, actually,
You get hit with that curse.
Yeah. I always
I
thought that was
guess-
so funny how like the reason Achilles was invincible was because he was dipped into the pond of power or whatever.
River
and-
Styx.
Yeah, and maybe it was
Yeah.
River Styx, yeah. But whoever was doing it was holding his foot and didn't put his foot in, and that's why his heel is the weak spot
Because he's invincible everywhere else, but because they're holding him by his
by his foot
heel.
and dipped him in the. That's what imbued him with powers. Why didn't they just put their hand in?
I know.
you know, make them all.
Is it you? No.
Because they never thought they'd find out the fatal flaw.
But then there are other like not just like Greek, but like even like English, like Arthurian legend. Like there's that belt, that when he wears it makes him invincible. That and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Excalibur,
Yeah.
like
The big one.
the big one. I go to the
Yeah, I
belt
guess-
when Excalibur's right there.
I guess I guess I'm not as studied in it. That
Yeah, because Hercules
from my
had a belt,
understanding.
kind of same deal.
Because I always
Granted him
interpreted
strength.
it was that it was very top down in the way that those stories are written. That was always my experience with it. It was like very like God heavy in terms of their influence on the real world versus Tolkien takes a much more community approach. I don't even know what the fuck to call it, but like
Force.
yeah, like the world is
Yeah.
participating in versus Zeus and Kronos and fucking
I kind of see what you mean. It is a
and-
lot more. Greek mythology is a lot more reliant on the gods. Like-
Versus so like Lord of the Rings, the most unlikely of heroes,
The
a
Hobbit.
hobbit, is
Yeah.
what saves the day essentially. You know?
Right.
So like that makes sense, yeah. But like,
but I guess yeah,
even in like biblical, like stories, you have like Samson. He's a normal dude that became incredibly powerful, and he killed 1,000 Philistines with a donkey's jawbone. and
that happened.
yeah, and then he was so strong, and then Delilah, seduced him and cut his hair and made him a weakling. There were even in Christianity, there were more than just the Holy Trinity that were powerful, in their stories. And weirdly, they don't really seem to talk about that, I don't know. But you had giants, in like Christianity, like Goliath. The whole
That we're
yeah,
another species,
yeah, apparently.
and they're gonna return this
There's-
year. There's videos of it. Have you
There's weird shit in the Bible.
Yeah.
You actually just sit down to read it. It's weird. Have you actually read from cover to cover the Bible?
No, I know, which you and I were raised in the church, but I would still say that my knowledge of the Bible is surface level with how dense it is. You
Dude,
know?
it's. I remember trying to read it like when I was in early high school. I don't even think I finished Genesis.
You're like, I can't. Do
It's
this.
so dense, and
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It doesn't read like a book either. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, a lot of it was
it's
written
very
before, like the book as we
It's
know
like a
it was
collection
even
of poems.
yeah, was created.
And then it's like all stitched together with different authors and different writing. It's very weird.
No,
Like it's not it's tough to get through and read.
it's
You
like
almost have to approach it as like a series of poems. And
it's
just
like
read
the
it verse by
Silmarillion.
verse. Well, dude, that's so I'm officially now that I'm done with The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, all that, I'm
Yeah.
gonna start start reading Dune. So I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
sit down and read the books. I've got
all of them, right?
I have 6.
Dune's. I want to go back and eventually do it. It's been a long time since I read it, but I liked it a lot.
I can't wait, dude. I'm really looking forward to it. So I found like a preferred order to read them in. 'Cause I guess there's not really like an explicit order to kind of go through, but
After the
Um,
second one, it gets weird.
that's what everybody says.
Yeah, It
But
does,
it's like
a time skip to like
Yeah.
1,000 years, and then you have like people that are
Worm
like half
gods.
worm, half, like Atreides line is like half worm, half man, like weird shit going on, and gods. And yeah, it gets weird.
does like Paul Atreides breed with a fucking worm?
Yeah, like it definitely
What's the lore there?
it moves away from sci-fi. It becomes a lot more. Which Dune has always been
pure-
kind of a hybrid.
Yeah.
But it moves even more away from sci-fi and becomes even more like
Fantasy.
fantasy as it moves on.
I would guess it has to do with his inhalation of spice. I don't know.
Oh,
Yes,
it's not
yes.
actually real. He's just completely hallucinating the entire thing.
Isn't there a theory or something like
Probably.
I guarantee it. Well, you
that
know what's
he
funny? The
hallucinated
Dune
the ending?
Awakening. This doesn't really have anything to do with.
Oh, didn't you
that
say it
specific
was?
thing.
That's
But
where I
yeah,
heard it.
it's a dream state in which Paul never was born or never existed. Paul Atreides was not a thing, and that's what Dune Awakening works within.
You're trying to wake him up the whole time.
You're
Doing
awakening.
awakening.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
awakening. You're a sleeper, and
You're sleeping.
that's what you're called. Like this, what?
Leto
those sleepers.
Leto to Atreides, which is Paul Atreides' son. He's the one that merged with the sand and became a massive sandward human hybrid.
Oh,
Ru-
he's the same size as a
Ruling-
worm.
yeah, ruling for a millennia as God Emperor. Yeah, that's in the book.
So he's like making day-to-day executive decisions
As a
as a granddaddy fucking worm.
worm god. Yeah,
Okay.
it gets wild.
So
Maybe that's how you level up. Like you're a Pokemon, right? And you level up your spice
This is
consumption.
my
You
final
evolve.
form.
Yeah, you evolve into a worm because you're like, I need more to get the buzz. So you're just gonna eat a desert's worth of
Which
spice.
to me, like, that does not translate well to film. So like
No.
if Dennis, what's his name?
Villeneuve?
Dennis Villeneuve. I probably butchered the way, but if he continues, I feel like he's gonna have to start doing his own thing. Like,
Well,
'cause it's just
I think there's only one more, and then at least
they're
from
done.
their plan is they're
they're
done.
just wrapping up Paul Atreides' story and then calling it.
'Cause
good.
he
think
did-
so.
Yeah, he said we're gonna see the Galactic War, like that they
you have
built
to have
up
that
to.
payout. I mean,
I know.
Because all of the houses have arrived to Dune, and they're waiting.
And then they
I
skip
can't
that in the
wait.
books, right?
yeah.
It's just he won.
They
Which is
literally
cool 'cause
by
they could explore
from
new
like
lore.
book 2 to book 3, they're basically the book 3 opens up with like almost like a timeline of like everything that happened, and in that they're like, oh, and Paul Atreides, by the way, won that. And
Did you read all 6 from the original
No.
author? Because there's
no,
apparently there's 27 books on the topic, but I don't know
read
how
the
many
first
original
2,
author.
and I was like 14 when I read the books, and I read the first 2, and then the third one I didn't get through because it just got a little too weird for me, and then I don't know, probably too into Call of Duty at the
Or
time or
whatever,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the author's name?
Jesus, I don't even know. Why don't I
Jesus.
know that?
Jeez.
I've been staring at it. I'm not a name guy.
Did he find cocaine around the time
Probably
of book
LSD and
3?
some heavier
Um,
shit.
LSD.
Yeah,
Stephen King.
I couldn't remember
writes
his first
coked
name, but
up.
it was Frank Herbert.
Mm.
Yeah. Stephen King,
Coked up.
I like some of his stories, and then some of them I'm like, I think it's overrated. As a
What's
like-
that other guy author's name? Like, what is it? Hunter Thompson or whatever?
Hunter
Like,
S. Thompson,
the guy that's just a fucking wackadoo.
a lot of
then-
writers are.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's what George R. R. Martin, which he just seems like a bum, but Stephen King, Hunter S. Thompson, this Dune guy, what's his name? Did you
Herbert. Frank
it's
Herbert.
Frank Herbert.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're all on like crazy psychedelics to
And writers notoriously hate each other too. Like they all talk about like other like a lot of the most famous writers that existed just shit on other people's work. They're like, this is fundamentally the worst book I've ever read. Like, you know. Another guy that like I love his stories.
It's good. You kind of have to have an ego to write a book.
Yeah. I love his stories, but I like as a person, he just comes across as just like a dick is Alan Moore. He writes a lot he wrote some of the most like famous like comic book stories like Watchmen and the Killing Joke, the Batman story arc. Like he wrote all of those, and like he just has like he's very political in his writings, and but like also his stories are just good. But like he just like shits on people. He is bitter that his like intellectual property gets sold for like film rights, and he's just like rude about it, and like it just like, dude, just relax. All right, you wrote entertaining stories. You were not like you
God
know
Emperor.
He's
yeah,
God's
you're
gift.
not Paul Atreides' son, the God Emperor worm.
I am him because I wrote him. Hunter S. Thompson's pretty much on 24/7 on coked out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't really have any reference of who he is. I just seen him anecdotally, but I mean, I've seen clips of his morning routine.
Dude,
you
even
know,
Stephen
and it's
King,
just
like-
wow.
I've never read the whole It, you know, the book.
Uh-huh.
Is there a TV series about it?
Yeah.
I see it everywhere.
Welcome to Derry.
But in the book, first off, it's like 850 pages, the It book. And then also there's like a whole like weird
Sewer
underage-
gangbang?
Yes, underage sex scene where all the boys just go to town on that redhead chick from the like. Have you seen the movie?
No,
Like,
I've not seen it.
They're
That's not-
children.
that's not in the movie, but they're children. And he just wrote that into the book, and everyone just kind of like just ignores the fact that he like that's weird to me. Like it definitely like makes me feel like I don't want to support him. You know, like I actually liked the 2017.
Like, I wouldn't have him
movie, thought it
watch
was
my
good.
kids.
Like I wouldn't have him around. Yeah, my children. Like this is weird.
I've never seen The Shining.
Didn't he write Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
So like this guy's he's got some bangers.
The
in there.
Shining is the movie that came out with Jack Nicholson is actually like fundamentally different than the book. That movie being what it is more to do with what's that director's name? Oh God, I forget his name, but he
Spielberg? I don't know.
no, it's not Spielberg. He's notorious for like he films things like hundreds of times until he gets it right, and he
Oh, I know.
stresses
exactly
out
what you're
people
talking-
to
I
the
know what you're
max,
talking
makes
about.
them cry.
No, it's
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Yeah, so
That's it.
The Shining being what it is, it was a Kubrick thing. That movie is very different from the book.
that guy doesn't like work. He hasn't done a movie in a while, right?
Isn't he dead?
I think he's dead.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, I thought he died.
Because I've heard so much negative shit, like how exhausting it is to work on those sets.
Like
Yeah, he died in '99.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
he
Holy
died
shit! No wonder he
27
hasn't
years
done
ago.
anything.
Like
That
he would
guy's got a
literally.
fucking hit list too.
He did a Clockwork Orange. He did the 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
He did The Shining. Like he,
Eyes Wide Shut.
yeah, but he was notorious
Full Metal Jacket.
for
Yeah, that's right. The lead girl in The Shining.
Yeah, she like had a mental breakdown because of the shit he would do to try
yeah.
and get a performance out of her that he wanted.
That's right. That's what I'm. That's
But
what
they
I'm
would
thinking
film
about, yeah.
things like he literally would do like 200 plus takes because like there would be something he just wasn't vibing with, and like they would just budget was not a concern. He just like and like they'd be working like 15-hour days to try and get
One
something.
scene.
He would stress people out to like get a performance from them if they needed to be stressed out. Like it's like a drill sergeant, like the way he do things. Like Stanley Kubrick was insane. The only person that
You were a tool to make his.
yeah, like the only person that like didn't ever get bullied by him was like Jack Nicholson.
'Cause he was just not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, because he's Jack
So
Nicholson.
you want me to play me? Okay, I'll play me.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny. I'll do that 200 times.
Yeah. But yeah, if you ever read into some behind the scenes stuff of like what Stanley Kubrick was, that guy was nuts.
Wasn't he an alleged pedophile?
Maybe I don't know.
He did
that
a movie
much.
called Lolita, and Lolita is like, I guess, a famous book that is about a pedophile, and he made a movie about it.
That's weird.
But I don't know any more info on that. So
I think anybody that does anything excellent is probably a little fucking wackadoodly do. At some level.
Quite
Probably.
the blanket statement. Anybody that does anything weird,
whack.
Or, yeah,
wackadoodled it.
I mean, I don't know.
I think there's some truth to that for sure.
It.
So I was gonna bring it
Especially
up.
Hollywood.
Unfortunately.
Especially Hollywood, unfortunately.
I wanted to bring it up when you were talking about Lord of the Rings, but we got
Way
sidetracked.
with that else.
About how you're saying the studio. You know, how did they mess up so much with Peter Jackson? So the Stranger Things documentary came out, right?
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Oh boy! I
no,
bet
no secret episode.
Yeah. So did the community? What do they call themselves?
Well, there was
The
like
conformists?
conformity gate.
Conformity.
Yeah. So what's crazy, and this is side topic from what I was talking about, but
Oh, sorry.
there's still
Derail King over here,
there's still people that are like
clinging on to a new
clinging
episode.
onto, and I still like they're on my feed on my on my TikTok, and I am so fascinated to like they get pissed at people
You
telling
think
them
they're
like
doing it for clout?
I don't. At this point,
It
she
has to
seems
be.
crazy. This lady that I'm watching, she seems
I think you referenced her last time.
yeah, she
Still
seems
watch-
a little.
He follows her.
I'm like, let me see what are you doing today? And she's like, listen,
The stars aligned.
but anyway, so the documentary came out, and it's interesting because the documentary almost appears to make the Duffer Brothers, the people who made the show, it appears to make them look like they suck. And so there's a lot of talk about why would they release
Suck as
this
directors or people?
as directors, and they're the reason the
Yeah,
show
didn't you?
sucked.
You were talking about this a little bit last time. Didn't you say like there was things that was released? You're like, why did they allow that to be released? Like it made they hadn't
Yeah.
even like written season
As they were
5 yet.
filming it, they're right.
They wrote it as they like the final episode was written like right before they filmed it, or
Yeah.
like as they were filming it. and
As they were
stuff,
filming it, and like somebody pulled up, and this isn't a bad thing, but somebody pulled up that they had a tab open with ChatGPT on the screen.
Wow.
But then like so that's the thing, right? Is they claimed that like they didn't have any time, whatever. It took what 6 years between season 4 and season 5. So it's just interesting.
Like, what were they doing?
Yeah, what were they doing? And at that point, the theory is that the studio put out this documentary to say it wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
Look at these
dumb
fucks.
shits.
And so it's like you have the flip side of the coin there, where the studio maybe gave them too much freedom, too much time to
Yeah.
just sit there and twiddle their thumbs.
I mean, that's the reality. Like, if you want, you could set a date for a project and say it's due this, and you'll find a way to get it done. And then you say it's due here, and you'll find a way to get it done on that date, right? So, I think there's definitely
That's
some truth
like
to that.
for the longest time, everybody blamed like Andromeda and Anthem on EA and stuff, and then it was like revealed that like it really wasn't EA, it was BioWare, and they even had that term like BioWare magic because they were just so good at bullshitting on the last like month that they just called it Bioware Magic, and like eventually the magic just ran out. Like,
Because
what kind
all
of
the people went on to
what
other
kind of
projects?
business model is
Yeah.
that? We're like, we're gonna rely on Bioware Magic, where like there's a month of like a month till game
Crunch
release, and we're
Well-
gonna get it done. Like,
That's unbelievable.
What's the guy's name? The reporter guy. He always has great like eye-opening reports.
the Kotaku guy.
Yeah, Kotaku guy.
Yeah.
He revealed that like Anthem, when they showed the game at E3, that's when the developers learned, oh, this isn't the game we're making, like because they couldn't set their mind on anything, and then they finally got to E3 and they're like, we need to show them something.
Yeah.
It's
Crazy.
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 Well, where can people find us?
My name is Dylan, but thanks.
Yeah, how dare you not address him by name?
You call me
Apparently.
Will.
Oh, because I usually do, huh? Dylan. where
Well,
can people
Dylan,
find
where
us?
can people find us?
They can find us right here on YouTube,
And
where
who's
we
us?
stream. Us is
Dylan.
Billy, Kyle,
He
and
just
myself.
Stops at Billy.
Me, myself, and I.
But yeah, we stream every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Come join us. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. Come chat with us. Give us a good laugh. We'll give you a good laugh, hopefully, and the whole world will keep spinning around, you know?
Wow. And with that, good kitty, you get the dub.
Bye, guys.